Good morning students. In the previous video, electric potential and capacitance part 3, we have seen three different topics of this chapter we have considered in last three videos. That is potential at a point due to a point charge and potential at a point due to a group of charges and potential on the axial position of the dipole and equatorial position of the dipole. Now in this video we are going to deal with another topic, that is electric potential due to a charged spherical cell. See, this is a spherical cell of radius capital R and cell is given charge Q and that charge is distributed uniformly over its surface. So what can be the value of electric potential at any point outside the cell? Suppose point P is here outside the cell. It means the distance of the point is greater than radius of the spherical cell. Small r is greater than r. What can be the value of potential at this point? So as we have seen, this charge over the surface of cell is distributed uniformly. This is symmetric distribution. So electric field at any point outside the cell is same as if the whole charge of the cell is concentrated at its center. It means electric field is going to be E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R square. That is why electric potential at point P is going to be V equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. If medium outside the cell is air, it's going to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R. That is similar expression as for the potential due to a point charge. If the whole charge is kept at the center of the cell, then also we are going to get the same value of the potential here. Now, second case, if potential is to be observed on the surface of the cell, in that condition, value of small r is going to be equal to radius of the cell, that is capital R. And potential in this case is V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R, and this is the maximum potential. But in case 3, what about if the point P is lying inside the spherical cell? Suppose here or here or here, anywhere inside the cell. In that condition, potential going to be same as potential on the surface of the spherical cell, that is V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R. You have seen in the last topic of the previous video relation between electric field and potential difference, E equals dV by dr. If E in the region inside the cell is 0, what going to be the value of dV? dV equals 0. It means there is going to be no potential difference between any two points inside the spherical cell. Means potential at A is going to be same as potential on the surface of the cell, potential at B is same as potential on the surface of the cell, and potential at C is going to be same. So inside a spherical cell, potential is going to be same as potential on its surface due to a charge distribution. Students, in this part of the video, you are going to see how potential can vary with respect to distance from the center of charged cell. Suppose this is the charged cell. As we move from center of the charged cell up to its surface, the potential going to remain V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R. This horizontal line is showing the potential is starting from center of the cell up to its surface going to remain constant. This is a horizontal line parallel to distance R. But as we move outside the cell, the potential is varying inversely proportional to distance from the center, that is V is proportional to 1 by R. So that potential outside the cell decreases with increase in distance from the center of the 7. Students, let us see some numericals based on the previous topics covered in video 1, 2 and 3. See, first question, two charges minus q and plus q are located at points A. Its coordinates are given 0, 0, minus A and point B 0, 0, plus A respectively. How much work is done in moving a test charge from point P, that is with coordinate 7, 0, 0, to point Q, coordinate minus 3, 0, 0. So students, say suppose this is a coordinate system. This is origin, z axis, x axis, and this is y axis. So point A 0, 0, minus A is here, minus q charge, and point B 0, 0, plus A. On the z axis there is charge plus q. So you can see these two charges are forming a dipole, you can say, plus minus q and plus q charge. As point P is lying on the equatorial position of the dipole, therefore potential at point P, Vp, is going to be 0. As I told in the previous video, potential on the equatorial position of a dipole is 0. Similarly, potential at point Q, as point Q is again equatorial position for this dipole, and potential at this point Vq is again going to be 0. So to find the amount of work done to move the test charge, suppose test charge is Q0 from point P to point Q, what is the amount of work done? As we know that potential difference between 2 points is equal to amount of work done to move unit charge from one point to the other. Therefore, what can be the value of work done to move Q0 charge? That is charge Q0 multiplied by potential difference between point P and Q. That is Vp minus Vq. So work done to move this charge from point P to Q is going to be Q0 multiplied by 0, and value of the work done is 0. It means no work is required to move a test charge from point P to point Q, as potential at both the points equal and potential difference between points P and Q is 0. Students, this is another example related to relation between electric field and potential difference. In the previous video, you have seen what is the relation between electric field and potential difference, or you can say electric field and potential gradient. So relation E is equal to negative of potential gradient, that is E equals minus dB by dr. The question is 3 points A, B and C lie in a uniform electric field where electric field is 5 into 10 to power 3 Newton Coulomb inverse, as shown in the figure. Find the potential difference between points A and C. See in the figure, direction of the electric field is towards positive x-axis from left to right direction, and point A, B and C. In the question given, what is the distance AC and BC? So easily we can find by Pythagoras theorem. This angle is 90 degree. The distance AB is going to be 4 centimeter, and we have to find what is potential difference between point A and C. So potential at point B is going to be same as potential at point C, as both the points are lying in the same vertical position and electric field is towards positive x-axis. So if we move in the horizontal direction, there are going to be change in the potential, but in vertical direction there are going to be no potential change. So potential at point B is going to be potential at point C. That is why potential difference between point A and B is same as potential difference between point A and C. So if we can find what is potential difference between point A and B, that would be equal to potential difference between point A and C. So by the relation E is equal to minus dV by dr. So as variation of the electric field is taking place in the direction of x axis, that is why this relation can be written E is equal to minus dV by dx. So what can be the potential difference between point B and A? dV is equal to minus E into dx. Value of E 5 into 10 to the power 3 with negative sign multiplied by distance between point B and A, that is 4 centimeter, converted into meter, that can be written 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. So what going to be the potential difference between point A and C or between point A and B? dV is equal to minus 200 volt. Students, this is another example of electric field at a point in the presence of many charges or due to group of charge. See, what is the question? An infinite number of charges each equal to q are placed along x-axis at x equals 1, x equals 2, x equals 4 and so on x-axis. What we have to find? Number 1, find the potential at x equals 0. This is first part of the question. And second part of the question is what will be the potential if in the above setup the consecutive charges have opposite signs. Let us see first part of the question. By superposition principle, what going to be the total potential at the origin, that is x equals 0. The charges q each are placed at 1 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, 8 meter and so on along x-axis. This is 8 meter. So potential at the origin due to first charge, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by 1, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by 2, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by 4. So if we take common 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q, what is remaining? 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 and so on. So this part of the question is going to be an infinite GP. So after common part of the answer, we have to find the sum of the infinite GP given in the question. And by formula we know sum of the infinite GP is equal to B divided by 1 minus R, where B is first term of the GP and R is common ratio. So what can be the common ratio of this GP? Common ratio of the GP is 1 by 2. So potential at point O can be written as Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by 1 minus R, or Q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by 1 minus half. Half is common ratio of the GP. So V is going to be equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 divided by 1 by 2, and potential at O in the first case V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by 2. 2 cancels and answer is remaining V is equal to Q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught. Now in the second part of the question, if the consecutive charges have opposite signs, suppose this charge is positive q, negative q, positive q, negative q, like this, means alternate charges have opposite sign. In that condition, what can be the potential at the origin? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, common as usual. What going to be the GP? 1 minus half plus 1 by 4 minus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 16 and so on. So in this case, the sum of the GP is going to be 1 divided by 1 minus half. So common ratio is minus half. In that condition, potential at the origin, that is x equals 0, is going to be Q divided by 6 pi epsilon naught after calculation.